the biggest problem with orthotics is that you don't learn about the importance of corrective footwear during medical school. It's largely left to podiatry, and so many of my patients had initial problems that stemmed from foot pain, and that can escalate from just foot pain to knee pain to back pain to low mobility, which leads to heart disease and all other systemic problems. So what frustrated me most was just the lack of access and thought in the medical community about orthotics. After medical school, I worked as a senior leader at a startup in Boston that made an ultrasound machine for women to do their own prenatal imaging. That means imaging their own baby at home using a smartphone. And already with my background in digital health and making healthcare more accessible, this was really exciting to me. And I was looking for other ways that I could bring the most powerful medical device, which I think the smartphone is, into other branches of medicine. And then I thought the best place to see where there's more opportunity was business school. And lo and behold, I started business school. And 1 week into it, a classmate put in a group chat, "Hey, I have an idea for custom orthotics. Is anyone interested?" And it occurred to me that you could do 3D scanning with a smartphone using the front facing camera. It also had occurred to now my co founder. And together we were able to build something I think that's really special and has continued to help a lot of people. So when I was calling all of these clinics, I was looking for two things. I wanted someone excited about technology. I think as a clinician, I find that a lot of older practitioners tend to be set in their ways and they're not really willing to explore how technology can enable better patient care. So I needed somebody who was innovative. And I also needed someone who, for lack of a better word, was humble. When I was calling all of these clinicians, they all had their own set theories about what makes the best orthotic. And funnily enough, between Germany, France, England, Australia, the United States, even Canada, they all had somewhat different theories, and these were all really established practices. So I wanted someone who understood there may not be just one right orthotic for each person, but really was able to work with individual patients to make the right custom orthotic for them. I think we do things differently on two levels. One is our process, and the other is the actual end orthotic. So when it comes to the process, obviously we're far more accessible than any other clinic in the world. You can reach us online no matter what country you're in, and I think that's really special. Our process was designed to mimic the same clinical accuracy that you'd get if you're there in person, but we devised with our podiatrists, podorthists, and other technologists a system that allows you to do this from home. Uniquely, we capture a gait analysis, a 3D foot scan, and our intake questionnaire really mimics the questions you'd hear by your doctor in practice. When you go to the podiatrist in the United States, you typically get a very hard, very rigid custom orthotic that is like a piece of plastic that has no bend to it. And that's a lot like putting a cast on your foot that doesn't let your foot and muscles expand, grow, reshape, and correct. What we do is a little different. We use semi-rigid TPU, which is a really advanced plastic polymer that our 3D printers are able to put out that is able to make a custom orthotic that provides corrective impulses throughout the foot. So you don't just feel better, but your foot actually improves to prevent injury in the long run. Yeah, I am not a podiatrist. I've never claimed to be a podiatrist. And I think one of the reasons I'm so interested in this part of medicine is that it's really ignored by the broad medical community. And I think I have unique insight to see why that makes such an impact in people's overall health. Every single doctor that you go to, other than a podiatrist, has no training when it comes to corrective foot structure, corrective orthotics, or really foot anatomy in general. So what I have that other clinicians don't is that maybe the humility to realize I need to outsource the expertise. And that goes back to calling hundreds, literally hundreds of orthopedic and podiatric practices around the world to find who does have that expertise. And in the end, I settled on Walter Orthopädie, which is a podiatry and orthopedics and podiatry and custom orthotics clinic in Baden-Württemberg, Germany, right outside of Munich. And they are just above and beyond. They make custom orthotics for some of the top athletes in the world, for the German national soccer team, professional golfers, cyclists, runners, but also people who are just every day trying to move and live better. I would turn it around and say, what is your goal? And we will work with you to make your movement goal realized with our custom orthotics and our literal 4 generations of expertise in this field. So if your goal is just to live and move a little bit better, we can do that. If your goal is to break your marathon PR time, we can help with that. If you want to see if you can score more goals this season in soccer, we can also help with that. So it's not who is it for, it's what are you trying to do and how we can help you achieve that goal.